Hey people, what's up? Demiluna here, and today we're going to be talking about optimized character builds for endgame gearing, and how to farm the endgame gear actually needed. So, first off, optimized character builds. I have quite a few character builds up on the forums myself, but there is 47 heroes in the game at the time I'm making this, and I don't have a build for all characters, but I will link the 4 I have down below. Another thing that I will link down below is marvelheroes.info. This site is great for builds for all characters, gearing for set characters, and to see where items drop, etc. As a matter of fact, let me show you how it works. So, this is the site, marvelheroes.info. This is a random Cyclops build on marvelheroes.info. Basically, it covers the gearing slots, what the person making the build thinks are the best items, power point allocation, hero synergy allocation, and even omegas, if they so choose. The problem with this one is I disagree with most of the gearing choices made. So, at least with this particular build, I've actually looked at the first 10 build and I disagree with almost every single one of them. The best build I've actually found is Shadow Reflex's build on the forums. It goes into a lot more detail and options than what the Marvel Heroes info build does. I tend to only use info to look for items, which is another thing you can do. Like, say you have the Gem of the Cursed, which is a boss specific artifact. You can just look it up and then you can see who drops it. Curse. Then you can click on Curse and where he is located, and where the item actually drops. So that's how you're going to find out the items you're going to need for your endgame gear and where you get them. Because, like, if this is a hero specific unique, those are relatively easy to get, but if you have to get a specific boss unique, those are a bit harder to get. And I will also just put a general link to the forums in the description of the video, because if you have the forum home, there is a sub-forum for every single character, and most people who actually absolutely love their character of choice will post a really good build in the hero subsections. So check those out for the hero you want to gear. Now, in order to define min-maxing in this game, which I've already mentioned a couple of times in my previous videos, in order to explain endgame gearing, you need to know what min-maxing is. So let's hop into the game. Gaz recently added a feature to the game where you can, if you hold Alt over an item, you can see the minimum and maximum rolls on items, which makes explaining this a hell of a lot easier. Basically, you want an item with as much rolls as high as possible to the max in order to get the most out of the item. So the more rolls you have on the high end of the spectrum, the better. Like, in the end, it could only mean a difference of 100 damage rating and 100 crit rating, for example, but all the little things add up, and it will increase your DPS significantly if you pay attention to the small details and get as close to max as possible on every roll, not just one of them. Now, another thing I haven't really talked about yet are the costumes. You can get 4 affixes on your costumes from grade 1 through 4. You can roll whatever you want on this, like offense, defense, health, dodge, damage rating, crit damage. But for DPS, crit damage is really the only option. Nothing else comes close to it. So try to get 4 crit damage rolls, and try to get them as high as possible. Again, with Alt you can see what the rolls are. It is easier to roll crit damage on a costume that doesn't have a core in it, because the roll ranges are way smaller. Like grade 1 here rolls from 206 to 383, At grade 1 it rolls from 30 to 70 or something like that. So the roll range is way smaller. And you can also add a costume core to your costume, which you can see down there, core. What you want for most heroes is what you see here on my Scarlet. It's 2-second invulnerability on medkit and 25% on medkit. The 25% is mostly for spirit management, not even healing. But the 2-sec invul cores are the single biggest survivability boost you can get on any hero. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. Now, with that out of the way, let's go over actually farming the gear. You may notice on marvelheroes.info it says Gem of the Curse drops off curse. But how do we go about farming it? Well, let me pull up the Gem of the Curse again. So it drops off curse, and then it drops level 55 and 59 and level 60 green, red, and green, red, and cosmic Odin Palace Terminal. It drops in the Midtown waves of that level as well, and it drops in Cosmic Midtown. And you get it from an achievement from the takedowns. So let's take a look at that achievement. It's located around here, I think. Sorry, scroll up. No. Okay, this is just getting stupid. Here. Target acquired curse. Defeat curse 350 times in the Cosmic Odin's Palace Terminal. So basically, while you're farming for a Gem of the Curse, like, if you do 350 runs and don't get a gem, you will get a gem anyway because of this achievement. So the best way to farm a Gem of the Curse is to run Cosmic Curse. And it works like that for all of the boss-specific items. And if you want a Mask of Elgrim, which also drops off curse, you have to get this achievement first, and then you have to do another like 150 runs, I think, for the Mask of Elgrim. So, with that in mind, it's like that for all the bosses that have more than one item. Like, Magneto, for example, has a unique and Magneto's Red t-shirt, which is an artifact, so you'll also have to do his achievement twice, basically, to get both items. The raid uniques are a bit different. You will notice a lot of characters use the Fragment of Twilight, for example, if you look at the builds. You can get the recipes at Hogan, again. You can just buy all the recipes here for a few hero commendations. But you do need to also buy one of these ingos in order to forge them. But yeah, they can also drop into raids, but they're extremely rare. I raid almost every week, and I've only ever gotten 2 raid uniques to drop. And don't get them before the 66 and 69 upgrade. So focus on those first, then you can start looking at the raid uniques, but never use the Protector commendations for the ingos. Always use the hero commendations. The Protector commendations are important for the 66 medallion and 66 insignia you get from the GLF influence. So yeah, just use your hero commendations for this, for crafting the raid uniques. Then there's another thing you can do, and that is challenge bonus. You can go for random or specific. Always go for specific ones, because the only ones that really matter are fighting, strength, and energy. And intelligence for the occasional summoner. But those those 4 are the only ones that matter. The rest of them are just garbage. Challenge bonus is basically just one attribute. So you can get up to +5 fighting, for example, on your gear with challenge bonuses, which is minor, but with all things, every little bit helps. But get these last, because you only want to put those on like the best of the best rolls on these uniques, not just about anyone, because it's not like it's cheap to put challenge bonuses on there. Let me refresh, because you can also buy them for hero commendations. it's not cheap at all, so you don't want to waste them on a bad roll. You can get gear with challenge bonus to drop into raids and Cosmic Midtown, but it is somewhat rare, and it is rare to get and a good roll and the good challenge bonus you want on the same item. So yeah, also keep that in mind. It is probably better to wait for a good roll and then just enchant a challenge bonus on it. Only use strength and energy when you need the cost reduction for spirit management. If you don't, just use fighting, because fighting is the best DPS attribute you can get. Now, if you spend some more time on marvelheroes.info and forums looking at builds and stuff, you'll notice that almost none of the endgame builds actually use a basic attack. That's because of how the damage is tuned in this game. If you have a free attack, the damage is severely neutered, as opposed to if Paris Power has a spirit cost, which just deals so much more damage that it's worth gearing for spirit management, so that you can run without a basic, instead of having to use one. A few exceptions to that are Hulk and Daredevil from the top of my head, because of how their resources work. And yeah, that just about covers what I want to talk about for this video. So yeah, next week I will be back with another one. However, my question to you guys is, do you guys want to see me cover rating first, or do you want to see me cover the Omega system first? Comment down below, let me know. I'm out.